Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. It is August 9th. How's everybody doing on this Sunday morning? How's everybody's weekend? Shout out to the folks in the chat. Make sure you all hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. Keep sharing this channel out with everyone you know. I would greatly appreciate it. We are so close to that 3,000 subscriber count for the Strike Zone. And we are about 12 subscribers away from hitting 3,000. So if there's 12 people out there that are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to that 3,000 count. I would greatly appreciate it. The Yankees yesterday beat the Atlanta Braves 2 out of 3. And I don't know if a lot of people had any faith going into the series. I think a lot of folks really felt that the Yankees, were going to get crapped on against the Braves. Now, I did say that it was going to be a tough series. I don't think there was any doubt about that. But for the Yankees to go and beat one of the best baseball teams in the National League 2 out of 3 against a very good Braves team says a lot about this team. Right, the Yankees need to continue winning these games. They need to continue, obviously, playing the way they have been. Right, so this is the type of baseball they need to be playing, and I think I would say that adding guys like George Lombard Jr., calling him up, trading for Heliot Ramos, trading for Luis Garcia Jr., I think provided a little bit of a spark to the team. Right. And, you also have Spencer Jones, who has been, playing a lot better since he's been called up again. Right. Compared to his first stint. So, with the new additions to the team and the young stars, right. The future of this organization that's been playing phenomenal. I think there's a new fire right now. Right. Yes, they're going to hit some bumps in the road. It's going to happen. We know this. We've seen this. But yesterday, if there was anything that I have to say about this series, the Yankees just kept fighting. They kept whether they were ahead or they were behind, they found a way, and they have been finding ways. And in yesterday's game against the Braves, once again, Chris Sale, who is no slouch by any stretch, but the Yankees bats were able to take advantage, and they did extremely well. I mean, you got to give a shout out to Ben Rice, who came through, George Lombard, who was again another good game for George Lombard. It's only his third game of his major league career. Spencer Jones getting a couple of RBIs, right? He had that one big RBI triple. I've been raving about Spencer Jones over the last couple of days, and how he's the future of this team. I mean, some people could disagree with it, and that's okay. But I don't know. This team in this Brave series looks a lot different. They looked a lot different than compared to the Cardinals series. So, if this is the Yankees, right, if this is how they're going to be playing, especially with some of the big bats that are not in the lineup, you could sign me up for that all day, right? You could sign me up for that all freaking day, man. But Looking at yesterday's game, just to box score it. So the Yankees won 5-4 in yesterday's game. You had going down the lineup, you had Paul Goldschmidt, who went 1 for 3. Heliot Ramos didn't have a great game. He went 0 for 4. Ben Rice was 1 for 4. What an RBI. Ahmed Rosario went 0 for 3. Then McMahon was in the game for him, and McMahon was 0 for 1. Trent Grisham was 1 for 4. George Lombard was 2 for 3. He had that big home run. Spencer Jones 2 for 3 with a couple of RBIs. Caballero was 0 for 3. Austin Wells was 0 for 3. So, the bats did what they had to do. All right. And they are looking to go for the sweep against the Braves. Um, the last time the Yankees had a sweep was against the Washington Nationals, and that was nearly a month ago. And since that series, the Yankees have either won series, they've lost maybe a couple. Yeah, they lost a couple. The only two series that they lost was against the Dodgers and the Cardinals. Every other series was either a win or a series split. So they had that series split against the Rays. They had a series split against the White Sox, and then every series outside of the Dodgers and the Cardinals, they've won. So in reality, even in some of those games that they lost, they looked really bad and didn't know where it looked like they didn't know how to play the game, where they forgot to how or they forgot how to play the game. Sorry. Um, the Yankees, all in all, when you think about it over the last month, it hasn't been too bad. It could have been a lot worse. Yes, there's still 4.5 games behind the Rays in the AL East, and you got the Red Sox right now that are red hot and have been absolutely killing it. They've been one of the hottest teams over the last month. But it could be a lot worse for the Yankees right now. It could be so much worse for the Yankees right now. So despite some of the injuries, despite some of the guys missing, to only lose two series over the last month, and and then winning or splitting all the other games over against other teams over the last month, it's been, you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. A lot of that has to do with the pitching. The pitching has just been phenomenal for the Yankees. I'll talk about yesterday's game. Gerrit Cole, another solid outing. Gerrit Cole has been coming into his own in his last few starts. Yesterday's game, showed it. He went 7 innings, gave up 2 runs on 6 hits, struck out 9, and walked a couple of batters. Chris Sale got the loss. He's now 12-7. Despite giving up 3 runs, I mean, he was still able to go pitch 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, and gave up 3 runs. So, Chris Sale is, again, like I was saying yesterday, he's no slouch. And, when he's on his game, he's on his game. But yesterday the bats were able to take advantage. Still had a decent outing with 6 innings, 8 strikeouts, and you could say he held his own, but the Yankees bats were able to score 3 runs off of him. So to me that's a good sign. I know one of those runs was on a balk, but hey, any way you could get a run doesn't matter. A run is a run. And the Yankees bullpen came in, took care of business. David Bednar got his 26th save of the season. So the bullpen continues to show what they're made of as far as these games go. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from the Yankees right now. I know some of the games that they lose, it just very much seems like, oh my God, this team is so lost, right? Because we get so focused on the losses that we make, it just seems like the Yankees are so bad, right? But when you again, when you only have lost 2 series over the last month, and every series and other series that you played and you've either won or split, to me that's a win. To me that's a win. It could, like I said, it could be a lot worse. So let's see what happens in today's game. We'll talk about the lineup. We'll talk about the starting pitchers. Let me say what's up to the chat real quick. First person in the building, Katie. What is up? Theo's in the building. Uh, Jacob Petruzzi with the $2 super chat. Thank you, my dude. Jacob Petruzzi, always a supporter of the. And he says, NFE, my brother, let's get the sweep. Lombard's a dog. Lombard is showing. He's showing what he's made of. Joseph Salvatore, Lou is in the building. Who else we got? We got Hitman in the building. Jay Witt's in the building. Etrin is a building. What is going on? Etrin says this is a really tough stretch for the Yanks. If we can survive this going above 500, that's a big win. I mean, they've been beating teams that have a 500 or better record as of late over the last month. I mean, they finished the month of July, I believe, 14-11, which it's been a while since they actually had a successful July. So all things are pointing in the right direction at the moment. Hopefully, they can continue this momentum. And I really want to see what their record was in July 2025 for the Yankees compared to this year. Last month was harder than this stretch. I mean, last month was hard. Like I said, they only lost. The only series that they lost was against the Dodgers, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I've given Boone his props. I've given Aaron Boone his props. I do give Aaron Boone his props because whatever roster has been given to Aaron Boone, he somehow, some way makes it work. Yeah, he does. We don't always agree with his decisions. Sometimes we do question his decisions, but the fact of the matter is, I mean, he finds a way, right? He finds a way, and sometimes it's up to the players to make something happen, to make things happen, right? These guys get paid millions of dollars to do their jobs, but you don't, like I said, you don't have to like Aaron Boone, but whatever roster he has in front of him, he tries to get the best results he possibly can. 12-13 last July. Yeah, from July 2025, I just pulled it up. They were 12-13, so it's an improvement. And I was trying to see what their record was at the end of July by that time, um, like their total record in the month of July compared to this year. I think this year their overall record right now around this time compared to last year is a lot is better actually. So like I said, I'll take it. You know what I mean? I'll take it because right now the Yankees are their record right now is 66-51. Last year around this time, I don't think that was their record. What's up, Bill? What's going on? Yeah, I mean, next time they play the Red Sox, they're going to have to slow them down. I mean, they're playing the Red Sox at the end of this month. That's going to be a 4-game set. One of those is going to be one of those days. It's going to be a doubleheader because they need to make up for one of the games that wasn't played due to the weather. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Yeah, Lombard and Jones carrying the team yesterday. The pitching and defense, once again, showcasing what they got. So 62-55 last year. Thank you, Petruzzi. So 62-55 last year. They're 66-51. You tell me, is that better than last year? I'd say it is. So I'll take it. I'll take that all. I'll take that all day. I will take that all day. So you could sign me up. All right. But let's talk about today's game. Let's talk about today's game. Let's see what we got for the lineup. We know Cam Schlittler is going to be on the mound. He's going to be facing Grant Holmes. So let's talk lineup here, folks. Let's pull up the lineup. Let's talk about it. Let me zoom in a little bit here. All right. So Trent Grisham leading things off, playing center field. Ben Rice is batting second, playing. He'll be your DH. Heliot Ramos will be batting third, playing left field. Luis Garcia Jr. batting cleanup, playing first base. Jazz Chisholm will be batting fifth, playing second. Spencer Jones batting sixth, playing right field. George Lombard Jr. batting seventh, playing shortstop. Ryan McMahon batting eighth. He'll be at third base. Austin Wells is at the dish. He'll be batting ninth. And on the mound, it is Cam Schlittler. Folks in the chat, what do we think about this lineup? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Talk to me. Let's talk about it. And we'll get into the predictions. What's up, Dev? How's it going? Yeah, still on pace for 106 wins. I mean, that's pretty remarkable, I would say. But as far as the lineup goes, Ramos, I don't have a problem necessarily with Ramos batting third right now. I know there was a couple of times where Boone batted him cleanup, but I don't like him batting cleanup. Garcia Jr. is the better option here. Rice batting second, that's not a problem. I mean, Grisham is going to be your leadoff guy. I mean, anytime there's, if there's not a lefty on the mound, it is going to be Trent Grisham. So I like the fact that you got Jones and Lombard batting back to back. So, Jones batting sixth, Lombard batting seventh. You get, I like those guys batting back to back. McMahon and Wells, that being down there, I don't have any problem with that. Move Ramos to lead off. I wouldn't personally, but that's just me. I don't know. That would have Ramos lead off. Bring Ramos down to lineup. Probably, but then who would bat third? Would you go Grisham? Would you go Grisham, Rice, and Garcia? Then is that what we would do? And then who would bat cleanup? I mean, I wouldn't put Jazz there. Maybe you could say Spencer Jones. Ramos leadoff is better than Grisham. Better than Grisham, yes. But, it's not something I would do consistently. Volpe's in AAA learning how to play second base. Yeah, I did hear about that. I mean, probably be a good idea for him. I still don't think that he should be part of the future plans for the Yankees, even though he's learning how to play second. That's not a knock on Volpe. I'm not trying to hate on Anthony Volpe, but I don't think that should. I think he needs to be playing for another organization. That's just how I feel about it. I don't like Trent nor Jazz in the lineup, especially in their spots. Jazz deeper and Trent deeper. Lombard to lead off, Garcia third. Well, I think you meant to say Lombard. Yeah, Lombard, I know there's been a few people saying that Lombard should be in the leadoff spot, but I want to leave Lombard where he is right now and let him just continue hitting where he is in the lineup. And then as far as moving him up in the lineup, that's a conversation to be had later. He just got called up, right? So, we don't want to rush him up to the top of the lineup yet. Like let him continue playing where he is in the lineup, right? I don't like rushing guys personally, right? And I think the Yankees right now they're not trying to rush him. They're trying to they're keeping him where he is. But he is batting seventh. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Garcia third, Jones cleanup. Probably be a better. Yeah, Garcia batting third wouldn't be a problem. Garcia batting fourth. I don't necessarily have a problem with Garcia batting cleanup, but I like him batting third behind Rice. But I think they're going with the whole lefty, righty, lefty lineup here. Yeah, tread slowly there, Bill. Moving Wells to lead off. Although I wouldn't move Austin Wells to lead off, but Austin Wells has been actually playing really well over the last couple of weeks. He's been one of your better bats, believe it or not. Even though yes, his overall numbers have not been great, but he has been one of the better bats in the lineup. Why not move Volpe to second? Jazz is not a young player, not a very good. I'm not saying don't put Volpe at second base. I'm all for putting Volpe at second base. I just don't know about his future with the organization because I have, like I said, I have zero problems with moving Anthony Volpe to second base. My question is, does it improve his bat? I think he would be a better second baseman than a shortstop. I don't think there's any I don't think there's any doubt there. What's up, Beagle? How's it going? Yeah, again, I don't know that Volpe has a future with the Yankees. Unless the Yankees say otherwise. I don't see what I don't see Volpe with this organization. But again, you never know, right? You never know how things are going to turn out. I think he'll be a better second baseman. I just don't know how his bat will improve. Like wherever he may be better suited for a different team, and I think a change of scenery would do him good. You know, that's just that's my take on it. Okay, let me get some music here being played in the background a little bit. Get a little sound going. Brooklyn's in the house. What's up, Susan? How's it going? Yeah, when it comes to Volpe, right? I know. Here's the thing, right? I don't have a problem with him, right? I don't necessarily I don't have a problem with Anthony Volpe. You know, he was a guy that went out there he tried to give it his best. He tried to be optimistic. He tried to keep you know he did everything he can to keep a positive attitude. Um, and I could appreciate that. But you know, with things like that, it could only go so far. You know, just not when you're not showing your performance on the field, right? You know, and some of this stuff I don't blame on him. You know, it's just the expectations that were set on Anthony Volpe was not exactly fair either. It wasn't. You know, I think a lot. I think it was a lot of the media that put this hype on him. A lot of fans bought into it, right? But when those expectations were not met, um, he got crapped on, right? I'm not you know I never jumped on the hype train. I never I thought Volpe had potential, but when it wasn't being shown on the field, I was like, I don't think he's the answer. I'm not listen, I don't have a problem with Anthony Volpe there, Etrin, but you also got to understand that yeah, you don't just bail on a young talented prospect, but Volpe has had opportunity after opportunity, right? I mean, how much of a longer leash do you give him? I'm all for him I'm all for him playing second base, sure. I think he would make a better second baseman. I don't think there's any argument there. But once again, you know, how does it improve his chat is or his bat is what I want to know. So he was given a long leash. He was given a very long leash. He had ample opportunities. He had ample opportunities. He was given a lot of opportunities. He got called up again this season, but he just wasn't cutting it. Give him a chance a second and just let him play. He's under a lot of pressure. He cut bait with Jazz. Well, one way or another, you know whether you cut ties with Jazz now or after the season, you know I don't see Jazz Chisholm being a Yankee after the season. He'll be a free. Obviously, we know he's going to be a free agent. I say that he will sign with another team. Who that team is, we don't know. But that is that we'll see what happens when the offseason comes around. But I don't think Jazz will be a Yankee. But second base is, I would say, it's up for grabs. Yeah, and Caballero is another guy that could play second base as well, right? And like I said, I'm not all for, I don't like to give up on young talent, but Volpe had a long leash, right? He had a lot of opportunities. Some Not all prospects, not all young talent, right? They don't always work out. There's potential. They're prospects for a reason, right? When you first hear about them, they're prospects for a reason. Oh, we got Miss 1000 in the building. What's up, Margaret? Good morning to you. I think Cash is the problem. He's overstayed his welcome. He hasn't put our young players in the best position to succeed. What do you, I mean? Cam Schlittler. What are you talking about? Cam Schlittler. Will Warren, for what it's worth. I mean, Will Warren may not be a superstar starter, but I mean, he doesn't do too bad as a number five. Spencer Jones has been showcasing himself. He's been showing a lot of potential there. Lombard is getting his opportunity. Dominguez has had a lot of opportunity, but Dominguez, again, like Volpe, was overhyped, right? I think Dominguez has more potential than Anthony Volpe does. That's what I think. But Dominguez, his defense is bad. His bat is all right. His bat is all right, but I think Spencer Jones' bat plays a lot better. Yeah, Jay Witt, Ben Rice, Austin Wells. I mean, what opportunities do you want these guys being given? I mean, how much more opportunity? Like, these guys are getting their opportunities. It's up to them to perform. But of course, there needs to be the help from the coaching staff, right? So again, not every young prospect, not every player that comes up through the organization is always going to work out. So to say that they're not putting their young players in the best position, they've gotten a lot of opportunity. So I'm not really sure what we're talking about now. Even in the past, with some of the guys that came up through the organization, they've had their opportunities. It just didn't pan out the way the Yankees had hoped. Yeah, that's my guess too, Susan. Yeah, Bill O says Cashman doesn't perform on the field. He only can do what he has. Same with Boone. If Hal doesn't want to spend money, he can't do anything. Yeah, Hal Steinbrenner at the end of the day signs the paychecks. Hal Steinbrenner signs the paychecks. It's up to him on how much money he wants to spend. And I know a lot of people like to call Hal Steinbrenner cheap, but your top five payroll every single season. And so yeah, I don't that argument can die. I'm sorry, but it could die. Dominguez, Volpe, Wells, and others, way too much pressure on these young kids. Who's putting the pressure on them though? This is the thing, Etrin. This is the so I don't know how long you've been watching me for, and I keep repeating this thousands and thousands and thousands of times, but as far as the pressure goes, it's a lot of the fan base that puts this pressure, right? Yeah, the organization may say, "Oh yeah, we have this young talent, we have this player. He could, we're really excited about." But folks have to understand. Folks have to understand that when these young prospects, when these young players make their way from the minors to the majors, it is going to be an adjustment period. It takes a while. It takes a while to adjust to the majors. The game changes when you get to the majors. These guys aren't going to be lights out. A lot of times, the problem with some of the fan base is that they set the bar so high that if these guys don't perform right off the gate or right out the gate, they're they were a flop. They're a fluke. We were lied to. It takes time. It takes time. You gotta let these guys adjust. So the right guys will come along. They'll play well. Then there's other guys that are not going to work out. It's as simple as that. What up, Chef Jersey? Soto wanted more than that. Yeah. I mean, Soto was offered $760 million from Hal. If that's cheap, what is an expensive contract? You tell me. What's up, Jonathan? Well, and that's the thing, Etran, and I have a problem with. This is why, like, I keep saying it on almost every live stream. I hate player comparisons. I despise player comparisons. So when they made that comparison of Volpe to Jeter, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. It's gonna be one of those. And if this guy if Volpe does not perform like Jeter, we're never gonna hear the end of it. We're never gonna hear the end of it. So I didn't jump on that hype train. I can't speak for everybody else, but I certainly didn't jump on that hype train whatsoever. I was like, let's see what he can do. Like, this is, to say that this player is going to be the next Jeter, Wells the next Thurman Munson, Dominguez being the next Mantle. Give me a break, And Billo says, I say stop comparing to these kids to other guys and just let them create their own legacy. Why do they have to be the next so-and-so? Like, I get it's fun. It's fun. It's great to get excited about. But let these guys develop into the player that they need to be. It's as simple as that. Yeah, Hal didn't include a private suite. Yeah, wow, he's so cheap. That bum. The Martian and next Jeter, Ben Rice has succeeded because he is presented as a savior. He just played his role. Well, that's the E-Trin. You know what? Rice is panning out. There's a few guys, and I think there's going to be a few guys that are going to pan out. Schlittler has looked really good. Okay. Schlittler's looked really good. Spencer Jones is starting to come into his own slowly but surely. Will Warren, again, for what it's worth. I mean, he's not a superstar pitcher. He's not an ace-like pitcher, but he's been holding his own. Yeah, no doubt, Chef. I mean, I think Lombard brought a different. I think he brought a little fire to the team, right? Exciting prospect, exciting young player with a lot of potential, a lot of promise. Yeah, let Lombard be Lombard, man. I don't want. I'm not going to sit here and say that Lombard's the next Jeter or Lombard. There's people out there saying that Lombard's the next Carlos Correa. Stop that noise. Just stop. Let Lombard be Lombard. Let him create his own legacy. Okay? All right. So let's get into these predictions, folks, because the game is going to start here in about a half hour. Let's talk some predictions. Okay? Cam Schlittler, what do we got for Cam Schlittler? So to give you some stats about Cam, he has look at his record real quick. He's got a 10-6 record right this season. At home here in 2026, he's got a 2-4 record, 4.32 ERA. So his record at home hasn't been the greatest, right? But away, when he's pitching away from the stadium, he's 8-2 with a 1.10 ERA. So he pitches better away from Yankee Stadium than he does at Yankee Stadium. So, if you're going based off of the statistics, right, on paper, you could say that it might not be Cam's day. Right? But when you look at his overall numbers, though, right, like, he's 10-6 overall, 2.26 ERA, 139 2/3 innings, 1.171 ERA. He's got a 0.95 WHIP. I mean, overall, his numbers are fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, he's Cy Young type of season for sure. But let's talk a little. Let's talk predictions though. Let's talk Cam Schlittler. So Bill O's going 8 innings, 13 strikeouts, couple of runs, couple of walks. Yankees win 7-3. Okay. Yeah, for Cam Schlittler, I'll give him 7 innings. I'll give him 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, couple of walks, and 2 earned runs. Schlittler's last performance against the Cardinals was not a good one. Struggled mightily in that one. So, and the Yankees just struggled in general, but he had a bit of a rough start. Grant Holmes, who's the starting pitcher for the Braves, he's got a 7-4 record, 3.67 ERA, 108 innings pitched, 92 strikeouts. He's got a WHIP of 1.34. So, looking at his last outing against the Braves, which was 5 days ago, he went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits, no runs, struck out 5, gave up only 1 walk. So held his own against the Marlins. The game before that was against the Nationals back on July 30th. 4 strikeouts, a couple of walks, gave up 3 home runs in that game, 3 earned runs, only lasted 4 2/3. Then the game before that was against the Orioles, and 5 innings pitched, only gave up the 6 hits, 3 earned runs, walked a couple, struck out 5. And looking at his starts, it looks like most games he pitches 5 innings. There's been few games where he's pitched 6. So I wouldn't be, we could expect him to go 6 innings. But if the Yankees can knock him out in 5, you could sign me up. But let me see these other predictions for Cam Schlittler. What's up, Scotto? I saw you pop in the chat. So Scotto says 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs for Cam, 5 strikeouts. Matthews going 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 walks, 11 strikeouts, no runs. Yankees win 6-2. Jay Witt is saying 6 innings, a walk, 7 strikeouts, 2 earned runs. Lou is going 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, 3 runs, 2 walks. John is going 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. All right. Joseph says 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, a walk, and a run. Scotto says, I'll be shocked but thrilled if we sweep the Braves. Let me ask you this question. Are you shocked that the Yankees won 2 out of 3? I'm sure a lot of fans are. I'm sure there's some fans out there that are angry that the Yankees won 2 out of 3 because the Yankees didn't end up losing like they expected them to. So give them something to talk about. Scotto says, of course, yeah, well, FGC Hitman says 7 1/3, 7 strikeouts, a walk, and 1 earned run. Theo's going 7 innings, 8 strikeouts, no walks, and a run. Bill O says he's not surprised. Okay. So we got some pretty decent predictions there from the folks in the chat when it comes to Cam Schlittler. All right, let's talk a little home run action. Who's hitting a home run tonight or today? You know, out of the home run predictions that I had, my sleeper hit a home run yesterday, which was Lombard. I've actually been doing pretty good picking the sleepers for home runs. So let's see your home run predictions. Jones and Wells from Bill. Theo says Garcia. I'm gonna say Jones, Garcia. Yeah, Hitman you says he predicted Rice. Yeah, I didn't have not have Rice. Beagle said Lombard and Garcia. Rice and Garcia. Okay. Sleeper Spencer Jones. Shocked about what, Etrin? You got Jones and Rice there, Hitman? Okay. Yeah, I got Jones, Garcia, and my third pick. I want to make it like a bold pick, like somebody we don't expect. So I'll say Ryan McMahon. And then my sleeper. My sleeper is going to be Ramos. My sleeper will be Heliot Ramos. That's who I got. Well, Jazz, Sleeper, McMahon, Garcia, Jones, Rice, and Lombard. Billow says he's got Jazz as his sleeper. Hitman says Grisham is his sleeper. Okay. I'm liking these sleeper picks. Yeah, I'll say Ramos for mine. Yeah, drop your home run predictions if you haven't yet. Let's talk a little home runs. And I'm looking at the poll right now. Looks like we have 23 votes. 87% of you, or 24 votes. 88% of you said that the Yankees are going to sweep. Josh Donaldson, nice. Ramos is definitely due. Joseph Salvatore says, yeah, he's my sleeper. Like I said, yeah, my sleeper pick from yesterday hit a home run, and that was Lombard. So I was very happy with that. None of my other predictions hit a home run. Nothing about. I mean, Bellinger's going to come back. There's not like a set date there, Beagle. But he is working out, so he's slowly working out. And speaking of injuries, Carlos Rodon. It was reported that he's going to have at least one more rehab start. So perhaps after that rehab start, the Yankees will probably make a decision whether or not to bring him back up on the roster. That's number one. Number two, it sounds like Clark Schmidt's going to return. He was playing catch. He had forearm soreness, so at some point he'll be pitching on the mound, trying to make his way back. Garcia Jr. did destroy a home run against Grant Holmes last week. Okay. So, good thing I picked Garcia for my home run prediction, huh? Yeah, Belly, you're guessing beginning of September. Perhaps Bellinger could be one of those guys, when if it is beginning of September, if that's what we're speculating, because they did say 4 to 6 weeks with a grade 2 hamstring strain. So if that's really the case, when they expand the roster, he could be one of those names that gets called up when they expand the roster to 28. What's up, Sunil? So, yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what the roster looks like when the players come back. Huh. Double play predictions for both teams. Yankees will probably hit. They'll probably hit into a couple. All right, let's talk. Let's talk some score predictions. So yesterday's game ended 5-4. I predicted 5-3. What's everybody's score predictions today? What do we got? What do we got? Billow says 7-3. Beagle says 6-4. Scotto says 7-3 Braves. 5-2 Yankees from Hitman. Matthew says 6-2. Joseph Salvatore says 6-3. Braves are, no, I understand. I mean, if the Braves win today, I mean, I won't be happy about it, but I'll be happy with the overall outcome that the Yankees won 2 out of 3 against one of the best teams in the National League. I mean, the Braves are having a really good season. Sunil's going 8-3. Jay Wood's going 11-3. Dang, 11-3. Yeah, I'm going to say... Said 4-3 yesterday. I don't know how today's game is going to go. It's always hard to sweep teams, yeah. I'll say 6-4. I doubt they want to be swept. Well, no team wants to be swept there, Lou. But I'll say 6-4 Yankees. Yeah, Dodgers finally won a game yesterday. That's they were on what, a 7-game losing streak? 6-4 from Chef. Yeah, looking at the standings right now. Yankees are 4.5 games back in the AL East. And they have a game. They're a game and a half ahead of the Red Sox right now, as far as the wild card goes. And Yankees are still holding the top spot. The Rangers are holding the final spot as of right now. The Guardians were there, but the Guardians have fallen off. So, you got the Twins, Guardians, Tigers, Orioles, Seattle, Blue Jays that are all, within reach. It's crazy. The American League, man. Let's see what happens this month and the next month. Yeah, Seattle won last night. Is it crazy that the Phillies may not make it? It is, man. Philly's got a good team, but I don't think it should be a problem for them to make it. They should make it, but you don't know how the season's going to play out. Right? The Padres are right on their tail. The Diamondbacks, man, have been playing really well as of late. They're 6-4 in their last 10. The Padres are right on the tail of the Phillies. Marlins are not far away. You got a few teams, that can make it in the National League, right? That could be that final wild card spot. So, Padres, Marlins, Cardinals, Pirates, Nationals, Reds. Although I don't know, I could see the Padres. I could see the Padres overthrowing the Phillies or the Diamondbacks. I don't know about the Marlins. Marlins are iffy. Marlins are iffy. Yeah, Dodgers were on a 7-game losing streak. You know, with a pretty healthy team. Yes, indeed. All right, let's get into the ABS. What do we got for ABS? How many calls are going to get overturned in today's game? What are we thinking, folks? Beagle says 6. Scotto says 3. Yeah, I think this. How many calls were overturned yesterday? So. Yeah, 1, 2. Yeah, it looks like only 2 calls were overturned yesterday. Spicy chicken sandwich from Popeyes. Nothing wrong with that. 6 combined from Bill O. Matthew's asking me I'm happy for the storyline that the White Sox are still in first place. Yeah, I mean the White Sox are, they're in first place, right, in the division, and in the Central right now. So they're having a good season. They had a busy trade deadline. They're certainly trying to go for it. 5 from Jay Witt. Oh, it's raining in New York right now. Cool, John. Yeah, I'm gonna go 3 calls get overturned. I'm gonna go 3 calls are gonna get overturned by the ABS. That's what I'm thinking. Oh, in Chicago? Got it. I don't know who the umpire is for today's game. Let me check that. Hold on. Yeah, the game's going to start in about 12 minutes, so I'll probably end the live stream here soon so y'all could go watch the game. I don't want y'all to miss the game. Dan Bellino is the home plate umpire. Dan Bellino. I'm going to stick with 3. Not raining in Brooklyn yet, but who knows? Oh, Rodney, what up, man? He's making his way out to Colorado. Where are you going to be staying there, Rodney? Five ABS. Okay, Sunil. Dan Bellino, Chef Jersey. He's the home plate umpire. Aurora and Springs. Okay. Colorado Springs. Yeah, Colorado Springs is about an hour away from me. Aurora, typically like 30 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour. It just depends on what part of Aurora. But yeah, let me know what you guys are eating tonight. What you guys and gals are eating, or this afternoon. Or did you all have a late breakfast? I literally just had breakfast, so I'm probably not going to eat none right now. Billo says traditional Sunday gravy, sausage, meatballs, and brajol with pasta and rice. Nice bottle of wine. Yeah, Ronnie, we'll catch a game together. We'll go to a Rockies game or something. Yeah, we'll go to a Rockies game. We'll catch a game together at Coors Field. The Rockies suck, but the stadium is awesome. And you know what? We'll see we'll see TJ Rumfield. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Dan Bellino, smash burger for Rodney. Yeah, this morning I had some eggs with some cheese, feta cheese, side of bread. But yeah, that's what I had for breakfast. 3 billed eggs with toast and air fried French fries, great yogurt before I did my 6 mile walk at 6 a.m. Good for you, man. Good for you for doing those 6 mile walks. I've been saying it all year, man. I need to get back to doing long walks or going on runs. Something I definitely slipped away from. Side off, stud. I try my best there, chef. But yeah, the game's going to start in a little less than 10 minutes. So, yeah, keep dropping your predictions if you haven't yet. Going to end the live stream here in the next few minutes. And hit that like button, folks, if you haven't yet. And hit that subscribe button if you're new and you're watching. I would greatly appreciate it. We are not far away from hitting 3,000 subs. So we're 12 subscribers away from hitting 3,000. So if you guys have not hit that subscribe button yet, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to that 3,000 because I really want to give a few gift cards to 3 lucky winners. So 3 gift cards to Fanatics. 110 here in Texas. Yeah, it's been really hot here in Colorado. It's been in the high 90s. We've hit 100 degrees a few times in that time span. Yeah, it's been really hot. There was a couple of times last week where the weather cooled off, and it was so nice, man. If you could run again, I would knock out a good 4 miles. Yeah, I couldn't do 4 miles. If you asked me to do a mile or 2, I probably could do it. But 4 miles, no way, man. '95 in New York. Oof, doesn't surprise me with that humidity. Yeah, listen, walks are good too. And if you're doing 6 mile walks, man, it's a good workout. You're still getting your steps in. You're still burning some calories. Nice, Scotto. I mean, I do a lot of walking around at work, so I mean, I do get my steps in that way. So it's always a good thing. But anyway, folks, I am going to end the live stream here. The game is going to start in the next 5 minutes, so get your snacks ready. Chill out on your couch and hang out. Watch the game. Let's hope for a Yankee sweep. Let's hope that Cam Schlittler has a decent outing. But thank you all for joining me this morning on this Sunday morning. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And be safe, everybody. And as always, let's go Yankees. Let's hope for a series sweep. And I will see you all next time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's go Yankees.